Today I'm going to look at the passage taken from Mark chapter 1 verses 12 to 13. Now this passage is also recorded in Matthew chapter 4 verses 1 to 11, to do with the temptation of Jesus. Now let me quickly read to you what's written in Mark Gospel. The Spirit immediately drove him out into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness 40 days, being tempted by Satan, and he was with the wild animals, and the angels were ministering to him. Now if we look at Matthew's Gospel tells us a bit more on what took place during Jesus' temptation. And today, I want to look at Jesus' first temptation, to do with power and authority, as written in Matthew chapter 4 verses 1 to 4. After being baptized, Jesus was led by the Spirit immediately into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. God, who incarnates in the person of Jesus, is now being tempted in his human form by the devil. Jesus' temptation was a preparation before he began his ministry. Friends, we too, in one way or the other, will be prepared at one point in our lives as part of shaping our characters for future responsibilities and ministries. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus was hungry, and that makes sense. Yet, it is at this vulnerable moment the devil found the opportunity to tempt Jesus. In his first temptation, Jesus was being tempted in relation to his power and authority. The devil said to Jesus, "If you are the Son of God, command the stones to become loaves of bread." As if Satan is saying, "Jesus, you have been fasting and now you are hungry. Why don't you use your power and authority to change these stones to become loaves of bread so that you will be filled and no longer in hunger?" Sounds a reasonable proposal, correct? Perhaps for you and me, it may sound reasonable, but not to Jesus. His power and authority is not and will not be based on the devil's command, rather from the will of his Father. Jesus knew the deceitfulness of the devil. Hence, Jesus answered, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew 4 verse 4. Jesus would not abuse his power and authority for selfish gain, especially following and obeying the devil's command. Though the situation is difficult, and no doubt Jesus is hungry, but listening and obeying to his Father is much more important than the loaves of bread. Eating the loaves of bread will only last a person perhaps for a couple hours, and after that, the person becomes hungry again. It is a temporary thing. Yet, sinning by disobeying the Father will leave the scars forever, and that's not the path that Jesus wants to choose. He prefers to dwell in every word that comes from the mouth of God. He prefers to listen and to obey the Father. Friends, you may be in a difficult and desperate situation right now, and there's that small voice urging you to use your power and authority to do something that will fulfill your self-desire. Yet at the same time, you know it will be sinning against God. So, who will you listen to? The voice of darkness or the voice of light. May God bless you.